All right, so we'll move on to our 6.5. Consideration of A, resolution amending resolution number 2024-99 to amend the FY fiscal year 2024-2025 adopted budget by adjusting reserves, fund balance carryover, revenues, and appropriations. And B, resolution amending resolution 2024-100 to amend the position allocations for fiscal year 2024-25 to conform to the mid-year budget adjustments. And I'll give the floor to, it looks like Casey.
Good morning, Casey Marno, Deputy County Administrative Officer for Finance and Budget. So there are quite a few minor changes to the budget, but I am going to go over a few of the highlights. So for reserve adjustments, the cannabis program, district attorney asset forfeiture, roads, welfare assistance, and various of the special districts budgets are being adjusted. For revenues in Budget Unit 1785 Public Safety Facilities, we're requesting to accept $125,000 for the MITRIP grant to be used for the design and construction of OES culvert, and $2.5 million from the bond to be used for the armory remodel. And note on that, we did get $20 million for the bond, or it's closing tomorrow, but we're only budgeting $2.5 for this fiscal year in addition to what was already budgeted. For Budget Unit 8109 Watershed Protection District, we're requesting to accept $981,407 for the MITRIC grant to be used for the Sonic Water Quality Buoy project. For the appropriations in Budget Unit 1011 for the Board of Supervisors, requesting additional general fund in the amount of $53,500 to cover increased salary and benefit costs. For the auditor in Budget Unit 1121, request to increase budget in the amount of $1 million for the ERP workday conversion. Budget Unit 1122 for Treasurer Tax Collector, request to transfer funds in the amount of $5,000 for the necessary upgrade for RevQ and the court and county collection system. Social Services Administration, Budget Unit 5011, requests transfer funds in the amount of $200,000 for the NCO childcare and $189,880 for the Transient Adolescent Youth Program. For Budget Unit 8799, Air Quality Management District, requests to transfer funds in the amount of $25,000 for hiring bonus implementation. And there are various position allocation changes for the assessor, Department of Public Works, Engineering and Inspection, Public Defender, Probation, Planning, Health Services Administration, Mental Health, and Alcohol and Other Drugs. And then for the capital asset list, there are some changes to current existing allocations and a few new, which are also reported in the appropriations. Do you have any questions?
All right, any questions from the board? Supervisor Pyska?
Yeah, I just have a comment about the adjustments for the board salary, because we did tie it to the judge's salary set by the state. I would like to bring that back for another conversation so that we could align it more closely with the increases that staff are getting, maybe potentially a ceiling or a cap or something. Just, it's a new way of doing things, and I think a little bit more tweaking would be appropriate.
Sure.
If there's consensus for that.
Supervisor Sabatier?
And I'm okay with bringing that conversation back to figure out how to make that happen. One of the comments that I had made was when we get a raise and others don't, but I have been keeping track with HR. I think it's actually matched pretty closely to what the MOUs that we have with our unions. It may be a flip 2 and 3 rather than 3 and 2 or something like that, but it wasn't something that was extraordinarily out of range, but it can be.
Right.
And so we need to, I think, be more transparent when it happens. I appreciate that it's on the mid-year review, and I've been meaning to make a mention of that during my comments and just haven't made those comments, but I think it's something that we should say on an annual basis, what has been the increase if we keep it attached to that rather than it being silent. I just want to share appreciation with the time staff spent with me. I had a few questions, appreciate what it is that I'm seeing. There are some concerns, not concerns in the mid-year budget, just concern of the uncertainty of a lot of federal dollars that typically has been relied on to come down from the federal government, where right now it's kind of up in flux and it's just a really unknown until further notice. But I do know there's some major cuts being proposed, again, unknown, regarding our human services. So that would be public health, social services, and behavioral health. I don't know that it needs to happen now, but I know that I did receive an email from our public health officer asking if we had a strategy on how to deal with continuing to provide the best services that our community needed, while still looking at what can be cut and what should be cut first, because it's not a simple process. And so I just want to put it out there that I think that strategic planning should probably start sooner than later. And I hope that there's consensus from the board that we need to be not ahead, but we need to be prepared and not reacting once it's done, or else it may be too late for us to really be able to pivot. There was one question I just had real quick, specifically to the Public Defender's Office. There's an increase from 16 to 19 in reviewing the budget. There's a lot of funding that's placed in the professional services and contracts. From my understanding, we're supposed to be pulling money from that line item, or is there enough in the salaries to be able to increase it to 19 at this moment in time?
Right now, there is enough salary savings in the salary already because they haven't filled all their positions. So it's okay for right now, but we might do a budget transfer later on and we would pull it from there.
And so what the anticipation would be is, without the concept of an increase or a decrease in the budget for next fiscal year, that we'll see a decrease in the professional services and contracts, because now we anticipate that this will be a constant position that will be filled, since we're going from 16 to 19.
If they can fill all their positions.
Okay. And again, did a review between the Public Defender's Office and the District Attorney's Office just to look at the parity. We're not necessarily close to parity. And I don't know if there's certain things, like they have welfare investigators and other things. I don't know if that goes within the Public Defender's purview, but I was trying to take a look, and it's not out of context as to what we're doing. So I just wanted to at least bring it up, ask about where the money was coming from, if it was still doable with what was there, because I didn't see any changes in the adjustments, and just wanted to at least speak on that. So thank you.
Vice Chair?
Yes, I have similar concerns about the Board of Supervisors' salary, so I'm definitely in agreement with bringing that back to further discuss.
Looks like we have a consensus on that. All right. Any other comments from the board? Hearing none, I'll open it up to the public. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make a comment about the budget? Anyone on Zoom? We will bring it back to the board for action. And all we would be looking for is offering the resolution.
Mr. Chair, I offer the resolution amending resolution number 2024-99 to amend fiscal year 24-25 adopted budget.
The resolution has been offered.
Okay, Supervisor Owen,
Yes.
Supervisor Sabatier,
Aye.
Supervisor Rasmussen,
Aye.
Supervisor Pyska.
Yes.
And Supervisor Crandall.
Aye. Do we need to do B?
Mr. Chair, I offer the resolution amending resolution 2024-100 to amend the position allocation for fiscal year 24-25.
Resolution has been offered.
Okay, Supervisor Owen,
Aye.
Supervisor Sabatier,
Aye.
Supervisor Rasmussen,
Aye.
Supervisor Pyska.
Yes.
And Supervisor Crandall.
Aye. All right. Both of those resolutions passed. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you.
All right.